Hi folks, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Tuesday the 17th of January. Thanks for watching. Couldn't resist showing you these pictures taken from the weekend. This is from the Midland Gliding Club up on the Long Mynd in Shropshire during a wave flight. Just look at this, how jealous am I? This was Sunday afternoon. Look at that sky there, absolutely beautiful. And it really did look spectacular up there at the weekend. This is the this is also during the same flight, so there we go. There's the aircraft wing look here. Just look at that, absolutely spectacular. If you fancy goat gliding, I can highly recommend getting yourself up to the Long Mynd in Shropshire. Going to the Midland Gliding Club there. Very, very welcoming and very friendly club. They'll soon sort you out up there. Spectacular. Anyway, thanks for letting me indulge myself there. As far as the next few days go, it's looking as if the weekend really starting to fall into line now with the GFS as it's been over the last few days. You might remember I was saying that I thought the GFS was probably getting there, particularly with the ensemble run of the GFS. This is the chart from the UK Met Office for Friday. It shows complex low look up towards the north. These fronts moving their way eastwards, bringing breezy conditions and much milder conditions, but it's the cold behind here that we've been watching for a few days. Now, as I say, it does look as if the this is the GFS and the the GFS and the ensemble model have won through. These are the charts, the comparison charts from weatheronline.co.uk for Sunday the 22nd at 1 minute past midnight on Sunday. And just look, you can see now how they're all kind of falling into line with each other. Here's the GFS. We've got a northwesterly flow. Here's the Canadian model. Yep, northwesterly flow there. Here's the GFS ensemble, northwesterly once again. Here's the Canadian ensemble, there you go, northwesterly. And here's the ECMWF, northwesterly once again. Interesting to note that the Canadian and the ECMWF make things chillier through Scotland, northeast England, possibly northwest England too. So wouldn't rule out the risk of some snow showers in those places. But further south, temperatures near or just below normal across much of England, Wales and Ireland. So we probably made quite a good call on it really a week ago, saying that the GFS seemed to be more in line and that the ECMWF seemed to be making far too much of the northeasterly flow. But as with all these things, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And it's almost easier when we're making these comparisons actually to look at the 500 millibar flow. I've posted a musing about the 500 millibar flow, so you might want to take a look at that too. Just explaining what it is and why we use it so much. But this is the 500 millibar for Sunday, and look, we've got a ridge on the GFS with this developing low up towards the north. The ensemble has got gets rid of that low a little bit towards the north, smooths it out, brings the northwest of it, makes more of the trough going into Europe. And the Canadian as well deepens off that low towards the north. This is the reason for the colder air that's been seen by the Canadian through Scotland, and the stronger jet there bringing in more significant snow showers across Scotland. ECNWF keeps that low further northeast of Scotland, but brings in that northwesterly flow look on the jet stream. So whatever happens, that jet is coming in from the west or the northwest, and that's what brings the cooler air down during the course of Sunday. Okay, where do we go then with the NAO? Something else I've written about in the last few days. So the North Atlantic Oscillations, a measure of the westerly winds coming across the Atlantic. Over the coming days into next week and the back end of the month, it's kind of bouncing around neutral into negative territory. And the various different runs shown by the spaghettis here, these various different lines, tend to keep it in that vein. So that means we can have fairly high confidence. And when it's like this, that means that the flow across the Atlantic, the westerly flow, is disrupted. So generally we're not getting very mild westerly winds coming across. Taking a look at the Arctic Oscillation in the winter, this becomes very useful too, because it's a measure of whether the cold air stays at the poles. When it's in positive territory, that means that the westerlies around the pole, around the Arctic, is strong, and what that tends to do is to hold that cold air north towards the pole. But when it weakens, when it gets into negative territory as it is here, that means that the cold air can slip off the pole and we get colder air slipping south. And you'll see that's exactly what's happening. This is the 20th of January here. So this is going to be, when is this? This is going to be Friday. Dips well into neutral territory, look. And that means that this cold air is able to come through, which is why I'm predicting these cooler conditions. But what's of interest today is it's starting to pick it up again, look, around the beginning of February. So it's starting to make me wonder, I wonder if we may well only see up to the 3rd or the 4th of February as being in rather cool conditions. It may be that these temperatures do actually start to lift. We got some quite good agreement between the models as well just at the moment, and the 500 millibar height, the mean 500 millibar heights and the anomalies for the 7 to 10 day period, so this is from next Tuesday through to Friday the 27th, pick up on that quite well. ECMWF on the left, we've got GFS on the right here, and what I want you to notice is that we've got low than normal heights look to the north of the UK on both sets of charts, above normal to the UK to the south on both sets of charts, and a jet stream blown through the country too. So this builds confidence that the models are in agreement. We can be pretty well sure that conditions are likely to be unsettled with a lowercase u. I think they'll be generally cool, and it could be quite windy at times, and we'll tend to probably bounce into mild and cool conditions across England and Wales. So we could have a mild day, then we'll have a cool day, then another mild day and a cool day. Whereas I think Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland probably tending to stay on the cooler side of things throughout the next week or so to 10 days, and could occasionally go cold at times across northern parts of Scotland. Now, as always, this forecast is kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around. So if you see an advert you like, do click on it, go through to it. It generates revenue for us, and it shows the sponsor you're interested in their products too. So thanks again for watching, and keep the sun shining.